when the light goes out, like so, even though we have another source of light here, you can turn it back on, mommy. We disconnected from the source.
Welcome back to Tamara and Zune's channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. You were supposed to say it with me.
Welcome back.
Today we're going to talk about staying connected to your source. Let's get into it.
This motivation came into my spirit just as I was sitting outside and looking at a tree. My neighbor is going to install a pool in their backyard. And so to install the pool, they had to cut down a tree. I'm going to show you that clip in just a moment. Now, what does a tree need, Zan, to grow?
It needs water,
Soil, right? So the soil,
rich soil that is made by banana peels, wasted apples, like compost.
okay.
And it also needs sunlight. And we also need trees. If you're cutting down trees and making houses, you are destroying our planet Earth, because we need trees for air and paper and other type of materials.
Okay. All right. So
And wood houses.
to get back on track here, the point that I'm making, guys, is that the tree was cut down, and the tree, over time, it just started to dry up. It withered and it dried up. Why do you think it dried up?
Because it didn't have its roots, and
It did not have its roots. It was cut off from the source. It was cut off from the source. And so anything that is cut off from its source is ultimately going to do what?
die.
Going to die.
Like we're cut off from air.
What's our source?
Air.
Okay, but think bigger. What is our true source? Or who is our source, rather?
Jesus.
Yes. If you are not connected to your Creator, if you are not reading His Word, if you are not praying as you should, then ultimately you're going to be disconnected. The same way with food. We need food to survive, right? And if you're not eating the foods that you need to survive, ultimately after a certain amount of days, you're dead. You are going to die.
You're gonna go oof.
You're gonna go oof. So the same here is with us as human beings. Spiritually, we need to stay connected to the source. Plug in to the source. If I were to switch this light off, there is no power. It's been disconnected. Go turn the light off, son. Let me show you guys what I mean. Proper demonstration today. So when the light goes out, like so, even though we have another source of light here, you can turn it back on, mommy. We disconnected from the source. So if you are not connected, and many of us are of the belief that, the alarm clock woke us up this morning, or I woke up myself this morning. No, you did not. You rose this morning because of God's grace and His mercy that we don't even deserve. If you were to keep everything that you've given thanks for today, what would you have? What would you have right now?
Spiritually, not spiritual.
No, I'm just saying, like, how many things did you give thanks for this morning is what I'm saying. So my encouragement to us this month is to stay connected to the source, because if you disconnect yourself from the one who gives life, from the one who provides, a lot of us have our jobs. We are of the belief that your job is your source. Your job is not your source.
That's just
Recently, there's a supermarket in Portland, in Port Antonio, a very popular supermarket. That supermarket has been there ever since I was going to high school, or that's what I can remember, and I'm sure it's been there longer than that. And the supermarket burned down. There was a fire from the market, and it led to, you know, the burning down of that supermarket. The supermarket is gone. And so a lot, maybe the owners may think, oh, that's my livelihood, that's my source. It's gone, but you still have life, and they still have the opportunity to build again, right? So ultimately, your job is not your source. Contrary to what we may think, the job is not your source. Your source is the man above, the man to whom many of us give no credit, the man to whom many of us give no time of day. So if you find yourself not praying, not seeking, not reading,
and not spiritually taking your time to read the Bible or go to church, you're disconnected with your source.
You're disconnected with your source. And when you're disconnected with your source, you stand the chance of dying spiritually. You die a spiritual death. And when you die a spiritual death, it's kind of like things are happening and you can't see what's happening. When you are not spiritually fed, when you're not walking with him, or when you're not allowing him to be the dominant feature in your life, or the dominant force in your life, anything is possible. You're blind. Spiritually, you're going to be blind. If you find yourself not quite connected to the source, it's time to get back on that horse. It's time to find your place. It's time to reconnect to the source, because guess what? When you reconnect to the source,
you reconnect with God,
which is your source. When you reconnect to your source, everything that was already promised to you will be given to you. Too many of us are trying to do things on our own, in our own timing. It doesn't work like that. Reconnect to the source, and you will see how much easier, how much better things will be for you. What do we say, Zon?
Thank you for watching this video. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Love you guys.